what's going on? Roberto Clemente Middle School families, Principal Lewis here with our weekly wrap up. This week, lots of great things happening at Clemente, including completing our beginning of the year STAR test. I want to give a shout out to Ms. Fisher, who is our test coordinator, for her work around coordinating our STAR test. We were able to get 95% of our students tested in ELA and in math, and our STAR test is the data that we use to determine one, student learning readiness, which basically just means what your children are ready to learn, and that's the baseline data that we'll use throughout the year to really see if students are growing academically while they're here. Our goal is that 75% of our students are growing at an SGP of 75 or higher. That SGP of 75 means that they have a student growth percentile in the 75th percent. Growing at 50% means that you're growing on par with what you should for your grade level. When you're growing at 75%, that means that growth is exceeding what it should. And at Clemente, we're pushing for that 75 growth for those students who are in strategic intervention, because if we can ensure that they're growing beyond what they should within a school year, then we're moving them closer to academic proficiency. Another reason why young people should be in school and be here every day. So thank you for making sure students are here. I want to give a shout out to you guys for ensuring that we've had strong attendance to start the year, and let's keep it up, because now that we have this data, the learning is really happening and the work is happening to ensure that your students are meeting their growth goals. Also, our interim reports, I know we mentioned that we were going to send them home on this week, but we're actually moving that date to Tuesday the 14th. That's the day that we come back from Indigenous People Day. All of the interim report cards will go home on that day, and that's just to make sure that our teachers have time to really incorporate some of the STAR testing data and things from this week into those interim reports, as well as make a plan for any students that have a current D or an F. So be on the lookout for communications from your teachers, because we want to start proactively reaching out to your families to make sure that we can start working with you to ensure support for your students, especially if they're not meeting the standards within their classrooms. We appreciate your patience, we appreciate your flexibility, and we thank you in advance for working with us to ensure their success. I'm sitting right now in our family resource room, and we are in the works of being able to make this a space that can truly be a resource center for you all. So when you come into Roberto Clemente, if you need to print something, if you need to fax something, if you need to simply just go on the internet and look up some information for yourself, complete a job application while you make conversation with our community liaison, Ms. Leon, whatever you need, our goal is to make this a space for you. And on the wall right behind me, we have the family resource wall. So on that wall is information that comes to us from our community partners that you will be able to see, and that's available for you anytime. As we work to really make sure that our school is a true family school where you guys as families can come in, interact with the community by way of receiving information and just hearing about how your children are doing. Being able to get this family room set up is the first step in that process. So shout out to Ms. Leon for her work in making this a really good space for all of you families, and we can't wait for you to start coming in, using this space, and being not only a part of your child's experience, but allowing Roberto Clemente to be a partner and a true service to you in some of the things that you might need. I mean, even for myself, I would appreciate if I could go to the school next to me and do some free printing, because I don't have a printer at home. So I think that's a great resource in itself to be able to have for the families. Also, we have Hispanic Heritage Week. So Hispanic Heritage Week is coming. This is going to be our way to put an end to a month-long celebration of Hispanic heritage. We started our Hispanic Heritage celebrations on the 15th of September, and then we'll be closing it out the last week in October, which is the week of the 15th. So on that Monday, there'll be no school for Indigenous people or Columbus Day, so students will be off and at home. When they come back in on Tuesday, we want everyone to wear a shirt with your favorite Hispanic American or just Hispanic in general icon. So anyone that's a famous icon of Latino heritage, students can be able to wear and learn about as they come to school. On Wednesday, they're going to wear a favorite sports jersey. And again, we want to highlight their favorite Latino athlete, any favorite Latino team from here in the U.S. or worldwide, to be able to promote that culture within our building. On Thursday, we're going to do Clemente Pride. So we're actually going to lift up the namesake of our own school, Roberto Clemente, by wearing our black yellow, white, any kind of school swag, school spirit. And then lastly, we'll close the week out with Represent Your Flag Day. And this actually came up as an idea by the students, so very similar to the Puerto Rican Day Parade and lots of other cool things that's been happening in the city to celebrate Hispanic heritage. Students are going to be able to dress up, wear their flags, bring all kind of different cultures that represents who they are, and then parade that all throughout the building so that way everybody will be able to see where they're from. I'm actually going to hold up the flags that was made by our students, Abby and Maria. They came in and said, Principal Lewis, can we be able to do this? And I appreciate Ms. Leon and the team for taking the ideas of the students and turning it into not just a day, but a full week celebration of students being able to lift up their heritage and be able to represent who they are. So I want to end by just saying that we again appreciate your trust and we appreciate the opportunity to be able to do the hard work of making sure that your children have a great school experience during their middle years. We appreciate you for your trust. We appreciate you for your partnership, and we'll be back with updates next week. See you then.